What's up, nerds? Welcome to Cool Nerd Show. As always, I'm Steve Trezza, and this is our game review of Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So I've been a big Assassin's Creed fan for probably since the game came out. I've played every game, I've beaten all of them up into this one, and as most fans know, it's been a little lacking recently, but we'll get right into this, and we're going to grade this based on its story, its graphics and presentation, its gameplay, and its value, and then we'll give a final grade at the end. So let's get right into it and start off with the story for Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
What about London?
What about it?
We're wasting our time out here.
You know as well as I do that London has been the domain of the Templars for the last 100 years. They are far too strong yet. Patience.
The story kicks off right from the beginning and puts you in the shoes of two already established assassins. So you have no origin story around this game. So the two assassins are Evie and Jacob Frye. And they are being sent to London because it is being overrun by Templars, and also to secure a piece of Eden. Jacob really is just the brawler who wants to kill all the Templars and establish the assassins in 1868 London. Evie is more of the traditional assassins. She's there to get the piece of Eden, to get more power that way.
I can see it now. We'll call ourselves the Rooks.
You were never good at chess either.
Have you got a better plan?
Find the piece of Eden.
Oh.
The game's side characters, as well as its main characters, constantly bring up Evie and Jacob's father, who we have no idea who he is, and it's brought up a really good amount throughout the game.
Sound exactly like father.
The churning seas of London. It's just the way father described.
I was sorry to learn about your father's passing.
Thank you.
Counsel shall guide us. Sound advice that your father would have seconded.
They didn't really go into it. They kind of teased that they're going to go into it, but it never really happened. So you're just kind of left wondering who this guy is, and they never really go into detail about who their father was. It's just said that he was a great assassin, and on times during the game it said if he would approve or wouldn't approve of what they're doing. As far as the present day storyline goes, it is still lacking, as it has been since really Assassin's Creed Revelations, or even maybe if you want to dabble into Assassin's Creed 3. The present day storyline used to be awesome, especially in the earlier installations of the series, but right now it's just kind of feels like they ran out of ideas and they don't know where they're going with it, and it still kind of feels like that, and that is such a letdown because the story was going so well and now it's just stalled, and it's been stalled for years now, I feel like. Jacob and Evie, although they are different, they are still very one-dimensional. They are better characters than, let's say, like Connor and Arno, but they're still not as good of characters as we've seen in the past, like Altair and Ezio. So I'd put them somewhere right in the middle in terms of character development. I think that we could have gotten a little bit better story with this game. It is a little bit of a letdown. It's kind of just a run-of-the-mill Assassin's Creed story. Graphically, the game looks great. I mean, even look at the map. The map looks fantastic here too. I did like they use the old Assassin cinematics. After you kill them, there's like the confession at the end, where some games use that. The first one used it the most, and then they kind of did away with it, and you'll see it pop up here and there throughout the series. Some people don't like this, some people do. I thought it was kind of like an homage to the earlier game, so I did enjoy it. That's just something that I thought it was kind of cool for them to bring back. As far as what everyone knows Assassin's Creed 4, which is glitches, and there are not an abundant amount of glitches, but they do still remain, as every Assassin's Creed game has them. I do wish the game took more advantage of environments and had more kind of like environment-based levels, and my main example of this is in one of the first missions that you play. You're playing as Jacob on a train. The train derails, and then he has to kind of outrun the derailment on the train, but it's all in a cinematic. And I just remember playing the game and thinking, you know, how cool would this be if I actually had to outrun it in gameplay and then maybe jump onto a tree on the last car or something like that. The game could have taken advantage of this so well, and instead it just didn't do that. So that's my main example of this. Outside of that, London is huge. It's even bigger than Assassin's Creed Unity was, which gives you a lot to do, especially if you're a completionist like me. For an Assassin's Creed game, there's tons of new stuff to do with the gameplay of this game. First off, we get to play between two characters, as we get to play between Evie and Jacob, and you can switch between them at any time during non-mission stories. Certain mission stories you have to play as one or the other, and most of the time it is Jacob. However, I feel I found playing as Evie more often just because she's more of the stealthy kind. Jacob's more kind of like the bruiser. The characters do get an upgrade system, which is pretty cool. So you're not just upgrading your weapons and your clothes and your armor. Now you're actually upgrading different abilities, and you can upgrade the abilities per assassin. So you can make Evie that stealthy assassin that you want, and you can make Jacob that, brawling bruiser that you want him to be also. So in certain side missions, you can choose who you want to go in. I thought that aspect was pretty cool. Just like every other Assassin's Creed game, you will grab unwanted ledges from time to time, but it's nothing that really ruins the game. In fact, something that I've had trouble with in the past was going into open windows. Instead, I just overpass them. In this game, they actually have an enter button, which I found pretty cool and actually allows you to enter into rooms a lot easier. There is no multiplayer in this game, and that is perfectly fine by me because I found myself never really playing multiplayer in the past anyway. So as multiplayer is kind of a fun add-on feature, a lot of times in the past I would just play a couple games or play multiplayer for a couple hours, and then I would just lose interest and go back to single player. Assassin's Creed Syndicate does give us a new combat system, and the system is a little hard to get used to at first. For example, every time you get a certain amount of upgrades, you will upgrade your character's level, and if you fight someone that is on your level, it's pretty simple. But if you go and fight people that are not on your level and are much higher than you, then you will get your ass kicked. And believe me, it does become annoying when you're trying to explore and you can't because it's too high. Not to say that this isn't a good addition, because it does make you stay within your boundaries and then kind of work your way up to it. Combat system does use a type of combo system, which is a little bit different, and sometimes I feel like it's unneeded, but it's good to see that they're actually trying to upgrade the combat system rather than just parry and kill that everyone was used to. So I do think this game is actually a little bit harder than previous entries. Two of the main upgrades in this game that I thought were the best were carriage hijacking and the grappling hook. Carriage hijacking is exactly what it sounds like. You go up to any carriage you want, you can hijack it, and you can run through the towns of London driving this carriage. So imagine Grand Theft Auto in 1868. It's a little bit reminiscent of something like that. You can use the carriages to get to places a lot quicker, and to get to places even more quicker, you can use the new grappling hook. The grappling hook is fun. You can assassinate people from the hook, zipline through the city, and you will get to places in no time. So I thought these were two great additions. They made the gameplay a lot of fun. The weapons in this game were a little lacking. They did away with swords, but that is also because of the time that you are playing in. The 1800s, not as many people use swords as they had done in the past. Instead, we get to pick between 3 different weapons and you can upgrade them. The best has hands down got to be the cane sword. The cane sword is just so much fun to use, and it's just very satisfying once you get the kills from it. Okay, that was pretty badass.
Anyhow, I can show you a vast array of exciting things, from prize fights to carriage races.
I think we can afford to spend a little time here.
Okay, so by now you're wondering, is this game worth it? Is it worth the money to pay full price for, or should I wait? And I would say, as fun as the game was, I did have a lot of fun playing this game, much more than I did Unity or even Rogue before that. But you still should wait a little bit because the price will drop by the time Christmas hits, and even months after that. So I would say, unless you're a die-hard, I need to play it right now Assassin's Creed fan, it's always better to wait because you can get it at half price or even lower a few months later. As all games come now, there are microtransactions in the game, as to be expected, as well as the Season Pass. Again, the Season Pass is something I would wait for when it's on bargain on Xbox Live or PSN. As a whole, Assassin's Creed Syndicate does suffer from its weak story and one-dimensional characters, and also will still suffer from the Assassin's Creed glitches, but the game does look fantastic, and it's a hell of a lot of fun to play, not to mention there are tons of things to do in this game. With that being said, I'm going to give my final grade a cool nerd grade of 7.8 for Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Thanks for watching. Please let me know what you thought of this video and what you thought of Assassin's Creed Syndicate if you are currently playing it. If you liked this video, please like, favorite, and subscribe. Check out all of our other videos on our channel, and I will see you over there. For more nerd videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media.